NFL Draft Nerds, welcome in. Today we are doing a Mock Draft Monday edition of the show. It's going to be interesting because we are doing the playoff losers, all the teams that have lost in the playoff wildcard round so far. And we have not had the Rams take on the Vikings Monday Night Football. So we'll do something special for whoever loses that one as well later on in the week. But the teams that have lost in the playoffs so far, we're doing a 3 round mock draft for each of those teams. Obviously, all these fans had so much excitement going into wild card weekend and hoping to win a playoff game and move on and advance and all that good stuff. And those hopes have now been dashed. But now those fans can start looking towards free agency, towards the draft, towards the retooling process, if you will, to try to get over the hump in future years. Not only to stay where they're at, making the playoffs, but to move forward and become an even better and more dangerous football team in 2025 and beyond. So that's an exciting time, even though these fans of these teams, they lost, which sucks, but there's still hope, right? There is always hope in the NFL. They do such a great job of kind of manufacturing hope. The NFL does as a brand. So excited to get into this, and we're going to be running it for the Broncos, the Buccaneers, the Chargers, the Packers, the Steelers. Yeah, 5 teams have been eliminated so far. And right now, Denver is plugged in at 19, and this will potentially change a little bit because you have the Rams again and the Vikings playing tonight. Whoever wins that game, that will affect the draft order a little bit here. Like if the Rams win, obviously they won't be sitting there at 22. But looking at the Broncos here at 19 overall, I cannot pass on Ashton Jeanty if I'm making decisions for them. Look, Ashton Jeanty in a Sean Payton offense would be absolutely unreal. And I think the ways that he could use Ashton Jeanty, because again, he's not just the best tackle breaking back we've seen in a long time. He's not just extremely elusive and explosive with great patience and vision. He's also a great pass protector and a great pass catcher, and he's a good route runner when given the opportunity. You didn't see that as much this year. But Ashton Jeanty, I think, could really transform things. The Broncos with Sean Payton, ball control type of offense, but also adding explosive plays to the running game, too. I love it. I think he helps out Bo Nix. He helps out the running game. He helps out the whole team. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and something I haven't mentioned yet today. If need and BPA align, great. But I'm trying to address needs in free agency and get the best possible players in the draft. That's my philosophy, right? So just keep that in mind. With the Buccaneers here, Malachi Starks would be a tremendous pairing with our boy Antoine Winfield, excuse me. But is that the best use of? I mean, maybe it is. Maybe you just say Antoine Winfield and Malachi Starks is going to give us the best safety duo in football. Looking at that depth chart moving forward, and he's a blue chip prospect for me. I think he can do it all. Great athlete, great coverage player, good coming downhill against the run. He's not like a hit stick legend in Madden, but like he can thump you. He can pop you. I know there's maybe bigger needs, but again, I'm not reaching on need overtaking the best players I can. I just don't think that's a smart way to draft. I think Malachi Stark's an absolute stud. Steelers sitting here at 21 now. There's so many different things they could use, right? They obviously need to figure out quarterback of the future. I think Emeka Ibuka is a great value here. They need a receiver badly that can do more than just go win jump balls down the field. Emeka Ibuka is such a complete guy. Can play Z, can play slot. Great hands, great route runner. He's strong, great body control, like a good fluid athlete. Let's do it for the Steelers there. Now the Chargers, they could really use another big time pass catcher. They could really use a big time running back. They could really use help stopping the run on the interior of the defensive line as well. We've got Kenneth Grant's off the board. That would have been a great fit, obviously. Derek Harmon, Walter Nolan, he has the most pass rush potential, but I don't think he's the most balanced. I think he's definitely significantly better pass rusher than run defender. Tyleik Williams, I think, has got good balance of both. Justin Herbert, Tyler Warren, yeah, I mean, he's a blue chip prospect for me. He was right on the border for a while. He's blue chip. He's as blue chip as they come. And him in a Jim Harbaugh offense, that would be something special. And now the Packers, I think there's a good chance that Need and BPA could potentially align here with, Siobhan Ravel, who is coming off the ACL. But I firmly believe had he been able to play more in 2025, and if he wasn't coming off the ACL, he'd be looking like a top 10 type of pick at corner. So I do like that fit a lot. It makes sense. I also think that they need a true number one receiver, which I just don't see one on the board here. So yeah, we'll go Siobhan Ravel. Got a little ways till we get back to this grouping of teams here. So we added Malachi Starks, maybe not the biggest need ever, but just an unbelievable football player. At this spot, Donovan Jackson and Armand Mimbu both stand out as guys who can play guard. I prefer Mimbu at tackle. Donovan Jackson has great hip mobility, hip flexibility. He's just a really good athlete, and he's solid overall. I don't think he's like the most powerful guard prospect, but plugging him in with what you have in Tampa makes a lot of sense to me. You obviously have your center. You have, in Graham Barton, Cody Mock, you're hoping to develop Ben Bredesen. Like the guards are okay here, right? Tackle, solid, but Donovan Jackson makes a lot of sense. So we're going to potentially look there. What happens with Chris Godwin, I don't know. Obviously, you do have Jalen McMillan and Mike Evans to feel good about, but wide receiver could make sense. You could also wait here. Edge, the Ohio State guys. I know Jack Sawyer just made himself a name. I would love to see Donovan Ezraku. He's got he's not the biggest dude out there, but he's got all the pass rush moves. He plays more physical than you would expect at about 250 pounds. Good length. I'm thinking Marcus Mbo would be a great interior prospect. Emory Jones could be. All three of these guys could be really nice interior prospects. But Donovan Jackson, I think that's a really good value at this spot. Continue to build out that infrastructure up front. All right, so Pittsburgh Steelers. What do we want to do here? We got a cornerback we can. Oh, yeah. These two, but both of these would be fantastic values. Azareye'h Thomas, to me, is like a better version of what you were hoping to get out of Joey Porter Jr. He's physical, can play tough at the line of scrimmage, great length, hip fluidity, but he's not grabby like Joey Porter Jr. So yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun to have those two out there. All right, Denver Broncos. We went and got Ashton Jeanty. Very exciting. I think Mason Taylor would be a great fit for the Broncos. Out of LSU, just a complete tight end. The Broncos have a super talented defense, right? And we are trying to get the most value we can. I think Mason Taylor, Jaden Higgins. I love Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State here. So physical. Matthew Golden, don't know yet if he's going to be in the draft, but I love his game too. Yeah, let's go Jaden Higgins, man. Let's bolster. And who knows what happens with Cortland Sutton moving forward, right? Higgins is 6'4", 215, great route runner at that size, very physical, and not in the ways that you would expect, like with the pushing off. It's with the elbows, the forearms, the leaning. Can sink his hips and go in the other direction. Great at the catch point. Great in terms of no focus drops at all. He's an impressive dude. Packers. How about the pairing of Donovan Ezraku with his old with his old head coach Jeff Hafley, his new defensive coordinator? Love that. Lucas Van Ness hasn't been quite what you'd hoped he'd been so far. Nika Manwari is a great value at this point in the draft, but a little similar to Derwin James. Deone Walker is just an enigma, man. He's so tall, plays so upright with poor pad level, but he's explosive as heck. Like if some team can refine what he is, and he's really young, I think he's 20 years old. He can be a special player for sure. That's not the direction I would go for the Chargers here. Would Jim Harbaugh go for an Ohio State guy? I don't know about that one. I don't know. Omar Norman Lott is super explosive off the ball. Shamar Turner is explosive off the ball. I don't know if that's where we need to go at this spot, just from a value proposition standpoint. I look at these edge guys. I mean, Stewart obviously has the connection, but I don't know that that's. Yeah, let's see Caleb Johnson. Yeah, that's it. Caleb Johnson out of Iowa, running back. I think he's a top 32 player in this draft. He's got sweet feet, so big and physical. Makes a ton of sense for a Jim Harbaugh offense. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers could probably use a running back too. I mean, I like Warren a lot, but obviously quarterback, if there's somebody that makes sense here, I don't know that there is. I'm not a huge Jackson Dart fan coming from that Ole Miss offense. Realistically, I think running back might present the best value. I love Nick Singleton. I love the game that he brings. TreVeyon Henderson too. Let's go double Ohio State. TreVeyon Henderson, complete back. Really good runner. Explosive, low to the ground, good contact balance, great in pass protection, great route runner and pass catcher. That's a guy who, modernizes your offense in a lot of ways from the running back position. And yeah, I think he's an upgrade from both guys that you currently have. Mason Taylor still on the board. Come on down. 3 offensive skill position players for the Broncos. Look, I think it aligns with the value there, but it also it's kind of what they need. They need more firepower. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A lot of nice options. Let's see. Restrepo would be super fun in the slot. That would be a hell of a pick there. Jalen. So would Tez Johnson. Get Tez Johnson and Bucky Irving back on the same team. Yeah. Let's do it. And that's assuming Chris Godwin's not back, right? Which I don't know how that's going to play out. I don't know that you draft Tez Johnson if you still got Chris Godwin back on a new deal. Chargers, we've got some offensive weapons to really utilize here to help this football team, and I think they needed them. Is there some value to be found on the defensive front? I don't know. I'm a big fan of Ashton Gelati. I think that he actually would align with a Jim Harbaugh kind of mindset. Let's do it. All right. Green Bay Packers, our final pick here. 88 overall. Again, you look at defensive line as a need. Offensive tackle, what do we got? Not a whole lot. Chase Lunt, I think, is somebody that's really interesting. Easy mover. But I don't have him valued this highly compared to some of these other guys. I've talked about them needing a true wide receiver 1. I don't know that you're going to get that here, but Jalen Royals has incredible explosiveness and great hands, maybe the potential to be a true wide receiver 1. This draft has gotten pretty lean here. Pretty lean. Yeah, we're gonna go Royals though. I think he has the potential to be a truly special player for the Packers. All right, that's it. That is it. So the Packers got cornerback, edge, wide receiver Siobhan Ravel, Ezra Aku, Jalen Royals, Denver Broncos, Ashton Genty at 19, Jaden Higgins at 54, and Mason Taylor at 85. That might be my favorite draft right there. Los Angeles Chargers, love this one though too. Tyler Warren, Caleb Johnson, Ashton Gelati. Steelers getting a Buka, Azaria Thomas, and Travion Henderson. And the Buccaneers, I think, man, I know that fans are going to be like, oh, we need this, we need that. These draft classes, through the first 3 rounds would be super impressive in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Y'all have a good one.